morning, everybody. My name is Hannah Bleem. I'm from the Williamson County Emergency Management Agency. Thanks for joining our live stream this morning. We'll just give it maybe a minute or two for a few people to hop on, and then we will introduce a few folks.
Good morning, indeed, Hannah. I'm Deanna Lambert with the City of Brentwood, and we are joined by a plethora of people here from all across Williamson County. We have Sheriff Dusty Rhodes. We have some representatives from Franklin, Spring Hill, Brentwood, and also Middle Tennessee Electric. So it is definitely a significant snow. We can call it a storm, right? For the South, this is a lot of snow, right? So let's get right to Sheriff this morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. Little update on the roads. As go without saying, all the roads are treacherous out there right now. The county highway, and I'm sure all the other municipalities in the state have got their salt trucks out doing the best they can with what they got. But we have wrecks everywhere all over the county. All the time I can tell everybody, if you don't have to get out, don't get out. If you do, remember, you may be able to go in four-wheel drive, but you're going to have just as much trouble stopping that beast as everybody else does. And also, we're getting, I can speak for all law enforcement out there, we're getting to calls as fast as we can get there. We don't have a magic pill that makes us get anywhere faster. So just please have patience with us.
Thank you, Sheriff. Do you have any tips for people if they choose to navigate? I know we're really trying to keep people off the roads. Let's just say someone is stuck at work right now, or they've gone to the grocery store and they need to get back home. What do you recommend for them in those situations?
Well, number one, if you can leave work, by all means, get out of there, but try to stay on the main roads as much as you can. I know they're getting the attention right now because it's going to be a while before I know out in the county they get to the back roads. But you just got to be slow and take your time and just do not get in a hurry. And just the other thing too, just remember, after today, this is not going to be like it was Monday night. Here today and gone tomorrow. We're going to be still dealing with this all day tomorrow, mostly over the weekend too.
Thank you so much, Sheriff.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Sheriff. We're going to jump over and switch gears to speak with Jerry Hatcher. He's the Streets Department Manager for the city of Franklin. And Jerry, we're looking here at a live camera from the city of Brentwood, but I'm guessing that the streets in Franklin are much the same.
Yeah, they are. And good morning, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. The roads currently are passable in Franklin. We are actively treating those all over town. I've noticed that the traffic is fairly light, so I think a lot of people are staying off the road, which is helping us to get our trucks around town and to treat the roadways. We'll certainly be continuing to treat and plow for the duration of the event. And we've had guys out as early as 4 this morning. And the snow here started to accumulate around 6:30 this morning. Right now, I know there are a few accidents within the city limits, but everything is still passable. In some cases, one lane will be pretty clear, and then most traffic are sticking to that one lane. But that's the current condition, Deanna.
All right, excellent, Jerry. Well, thank you for that update. We appreciate it. So now we're going to go over to Brentwood Police. We have Captain Jim Colvin, who is live in Brentwood outside the headquarters right there off of the new headquarters off of Concord Road. And Captain Colvin, we are looking live at a salt truck plow from the city of Brentwood, and it looks like they might be somewhere near Concord Road right now, I think. It has really been just a difficult situation out there this morning, right?
Yes, ma'am. Our officers are pretty tied up right now. We have good staffing levels today. We've prepared for this event. Officers are spread out throughout the city, but they're all assisting citizens right now, because we have people still on the roadway who have not been able to make it up a hill, specifically Concord Road and Saratoga Drive. That's one of our really busy places right now in Brentwood, where we have vehicles that we're constantly trying to get off the road. Franklin Road and Maryland Way, we've had some troubles there. And the same goes for on Split Log and Ragsdale Road. So those are areas that I would say avoid all roads, but those in particular. And we appreciate our public works crew. They're doing great. Those guys have worked so hard, and they do this just every time we have a weather event. They're there helping us out, and we're constantly in communication with them. So we appreciate Todd and his team and everything that they're doing. But we just encourage everyone to stay at home if you can, and also to be safe if you're at home. So, avoid pulling your children with motorized vehicles. Let them have their fun and enjoy the time together as a family, but please do it safely.
Yes, indeed. And one of our live shots over here from Lieutenant Michael Foster is from Spring Hill, on one of the big hills there in Spring Hill near the battlefield. And so that's a great point, Captain Colvin, about sledding safety. All the kids are out of school today, and I know my kids are anxious to get out there, but safety is paramount here.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us this morning, Captain Colvin. We appreciate it. We're going to step over to Todd Hoppenstead now with Brentwood Public Works. And Todd, again, your crews out there, a lot of snow came down quickly. I heard about almost 2 inches in 1 hour. So that's a lot of snow to come down all at once. How difficult is that to manage?
The biggest challenge is the cars on the road for us. As you saw some pictures I sent you at 6 a.m., our trucks were getting loaded. There wasn't a single flake of snow falling here in Brentwood yet. We're 3-4 hours later, and the roads are severely impacted. A lot of people don't realize our trucks can only move as quickly as the cars in front of them. And when those cars become stuck, our plows are stuck in traffic. We're moving as quickly as we can. You got some shots there from a couple of our trucks on Concord Road there by the YMCA. They're headed eastbound. You can tell we've already run that section of road over. We've only got 12 trucks out, though, for the entire city. We do not address secondary or neighborhood streets until the main roads are kind of in good shape. So best advice is stay home unless you absolutely have to go out. There's been a lot of cars tore up, like Sheriff said already. And with all the parts shortages, that's going to be a long-term problem for many people. So it's best just to stay home.
Great advice, Todd. Thank you. We appreciate that. And again, hope all of the crews are out there safe today.
It's a team effort, as you know. So
Jim
Colvin and his crews and all the other departments throughout the county, we're all kind of working hand in hand on this one. And we will continue to do like the sheriff mentioned throughout the weekend.
Excellent. Thank you, Todd. Hannah, I think we have Chief Johnson on the call now.
Hey, Chief Johnson, can you hear us? All right.
Yes.
Looks like he might.
Snow day.
Here he goes. Hey, Chief. So what are you guys seeing out there in the city of Franklin right now?
Just like everybody else, we're seeing snow starting to increase. Fortunately, from the fire standpoint, our call volume has been low. We're messaging the public, asking them to stay out home if they don't have to get out, and if they do get out, make sure they clear their windshields, keep their headlights on. But right now, it looks like a lot of people, especially the people who are new to the area, are taking some of the advice of the people that's lived here a long time and staying at home, safe, and just enjoying the snow day and with their families.
Yes, that's great. So something that you can speak to that may be a little different from some others that are going to be on this live stream. What are some things to consider if people are staying home today? Some safety things. I know there's going to be people turning on their heaters, maybe even their generators, or lighting up their fireplace. What are some things they should consider before using a heating source in their house?
If you've got any type of heating source, especially the gas, we encourage people to have carbon monoxide detectors. That's going to be your best warning. We don't anticipate power going out, but however, in the event the power does go out, we want to ensure that people are properly protected. As far as some candles and what, if we do lose electricity, make sure that we're using safe precautions when utilizing alternative lighting sources. But one of the big things we see around this time of year, especially with the snow event in less than a week, is the amount of children and kids getting out and enjoying the snow on the sleds. We're really pushing sledding safety. Each year we have several pretty severe incidents, and we hope to reduce that this year by ensuring that people are using approved sledding devices, not being pulled behind four-wheelers, cars, golf carts, and whatnot. As well as here in Franklin, we have a lot of ponds and retention ponds, and they tend to very quickly. However, the depth of the ice is not sufficient to support the weight of some of our older kids, and we want to encourage people to stay off these lakes and ponds and retention ponds because the water just hasn't had enough time to freeze. Even though we're going to be seeing temperatures in the single to teens over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, this advice really goes for the whole county. I know you're speaking to the city of Franklin, and that's the jurisdiction you serve, but a lot of this advice can be carried across the county. So just remember, regardless of where you live, stay off of any body of water. It may look frozen. It probably isn't at this point, not yet. Also, just stay off those roadways if you're going to be sledding. So that goes for our entire county. So thank you, Chief.
Yes, thank you, Chief. And so now we would like to move over to Spring Hill. We have Lieutenant Mike Foster of the Spring Hill Police Department. And some of you may recognize which hill he is on, because this is apparently a large, popular sledding hill down in Spring Hill. And I know a lot of kids are going to be out there enjoying this today. I know the snow is still coming down here in Brentwood and Franklin and pretty much everywhere in Middle Tennessee. But Lieutenant Mike, can you tell us kind of what you're seeing out there? And then also to echo what Chief Johnson was talking about with the importance of sledding safety. While it is fun, there's a lot of precautions to take. Hi there, Lieutenant Foster, can you hear us? We may have lost audio is what that hand signal might mean. Yes, maybe that's what it is. Okay, no problem. Well, we will just look at your lovely live picture there in Spring Hill off of the battlefield area there in Spring Hill. And that's a big hill. It looks like all the grass might be covered. I know the grass here in Brentwood and Franklin is starting to look very covered, but again, we want to make sure that we are using safety when we're out there sledding. And so continuing in Spring Hill, we have Tyler Scoggins, who is with remind me again, you're with Public Works, correct, Tyler?
That is correct.
Okay, so how are roads in Spring Hill?
They're passable. Currently, the Public Works is plowing and treating the roads as well. The snow continues to come down. People are staying in. Seems like there's not a lot of traffic, so it's making it easier for us to get these roads cleaned and treated.
Excellent. And, we take questions here from the audience. And so Melissa is asking, is it looking like school will be canceled again tomorrow? If only we knew, Melissa. We are all waiting for Carol to call at this point. We'll have to see if we can get some information from Carol here later. But we do not know about schools at this point for tomorrow. But if I'm a betting person, something tells me that this is all going to turn into ice later, and the roads are going to probably be even worse tomorrow morning. So what do you think, Tyler?
Yes. Currently, what's underneath the snow is there's water underneath the snow where it's melted from brine and stuff that we put down. Tonight time with temperatures that falling into, the teens, maybe single digits. Salt only works at 16 degrees. Anything below that, we run into issues of having it to melt. So yeah, tonight I think it could be bad.
Yes, and we're getting all kinds of comments. Haley is mentioning that leaving, White House area going towards Spring Hill was already, very bad over an hour ago. So, again, the message is if you can stay home, go sledding with those kids today. Certainly use caution, but be safe out there. We appreciate Tyler being with us this morning. We're going to loop in Amy Byers here now with Middle Tennessee Electric. Hannah, did you want to ask her some things?
Yeah, so we are really blessed to have Amy on here this morning. I know a lot of people, we get a lot of questions in emergency management about what if the power goes out? What happens, right? So fortunately, we have Amy on here, and she'll be able to kind of give a few tips for people and kind of talk about what Middle Tennessee Electric does during these times. Oh, Amy, so sorry. I think you're muted. 1 second. There we go.
There we go. Sorry. At Middle Tennessee Electric, we've been monitoring this system for several days now. That's one thing. We plan for these type of situations. We practice it. We know what we're going to do. We've been watching the weather. We knew that this was going to be a significant event. So we have everybody on standby, watching for it, waiting for it. And we actually have a lot of weather services that we watch and monitor. And then we have our control center that's 24/7. So they're in there, usually can see a problem before we even start getting calls about that problem. So we certainly are ready to roll when there are problems. I do want to reiterate what everyone has said about staying off the roads. That impacts Middle Tennessee Electric as well. As people start sliding and slipping, they could run into our poles. They could, hit equipment, all these type of things. And then if we start having outages and our trucks are out on the road and they're on the side of the road, certainly that is a hazard for them as well if there's a lot of traffic. So that's a very important thing. Want to just kind of give a few tips on, hopefully we won't have a lot of weather outages or with this event, but you never know. So some things you can do is certainly make sure you're keeping your phone charged. While you've got electricity, just have it plugged in all day. If you've got battery packs, have those plugged in. Your iPads, have those plugged in. Make sure, because that's going to be your source to find out. We'll be posting on social media if there's problems. You can go to our website and view our outage map. So you're going to want to be able to still have those electronics to be able to do those things. Make sure that you've got fresh batteries in your flashlights. If something happens at night, as it does get colder, as things start to freeze over, one thing with the event we had this weekend, we had a lot of snow that stacked up on those limbs. So we had a lot of limbs falling down and a lot of limbs falling on the power lines. Well, some of those limbs are probably weakened, but maybe didn't fall. So this may be the storm that takes those down. So certainly, plan for that. Other things that after the storm, I do want to mention a little bit as we're having very Arctic air come in here. We've talked about the teens and down to 10 degrees and that type of thing. And so certainly this is going to impact people's electric bills. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it uses a lot more electricity to heat your home when it is 10 degrees outside than when it is 40 degrees outside. So I do want to, give a few tips of just telling our members to bundle up and keep that thermostat at 68. Every degree you go above 68, you're going to add 3% to your bill. If the sun comes out, probably not today, maybe tomorrow or Sunday, open your blinds. Let the sun come in and help heat your home. Just make sure you're closing it all up afterwards when at night. Another thing is if you have got drafty doors, drafty windows, put some blankets over them. Put some towels at the bottom of those doors. There's simple things you can do to keep that cold air out. I do want to mention one more thing is if you do need to report an outage, you can go to mte.com. And if you will click on the report an outage button, it's going to list you the numbers that you need to call. We have our 24/7 live agent support line, 877-777-9020. That number's on there. And then if you have the My MTEMC app, you can report it on that as well. There is also an outage map that you can have access to from that page. So if you can pull that up, you can see where the outages are. You can see if crews have been reported or have been assigned to those outages. But rest assured that if there are outages, we're not waiting for the snow to stop.
No.
We are boots on the ground immediately. Doesn't matter how cold it is. We're going to stay up. We're going to keep working until all power is restored.
That's great. Thank you, Amy. And I want to throw in just a few other little items here too, just from the emergency management perspective. We often think about some individuals that might be on medical devices, right? Make sure that if you have an external power source for that medical device, that it's charged up. Or if you have neighbors, let's just say you were to have a power outage and you have a critical need, right? Make sure that you are in contact with your friends and family so that if you have a medical device that requires power or it requires being warmed up, maybe you have certain types of medicines that have to maintain certain types of temperatures. Just again, rely on your friends and family if you have to. If you have external power sources for those things, make sure those are also charged up if you have that. So again, just a few extra things to think about if there were to be a power outage. And thank you so much, Amy, for sharing all those tips. I know, again, a lot of people rely on you guys, and whether that be the people who are boots on the ground outside or individuals like you, just keeping the public informed. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Yeah, there were lots of comments coming in, Amy, about all those great tips. So we appreciate you being here this morning. We know you're going to have a busy day, so thank you.
Great. And there's more tips. If you go to mte.com/tips, you can get all sorts of other tips as well.
Okay, and we will put that into the I'm getting my forward and back space here correct. We will put that into the chat. And that's part of this feature here this morning that we're doing. Thank you, Amy. Is that you can ask us questions here live. So you see right now on the screen about, do you have questions for us? Just type those into the comments there on whichever platform you're watching from, and we'll be able to answer those questions live. We're going to go back out to Sheriff Dusty Rhodes here in a few minutes. He had to step away for a minute, but we'll get back a check on all of the information from him as far as roads from a county-wide level. But right now, we would like to loop in Brentwood Fire Chief Brian Goss has joined us. And Brian, it's been a busy morning for all the emergency crews out there. What have your fire and rescue teams been tasked with this morning?
Similar with Chief Johnson, it's been fortunately pretty quiet, although I hate to use that Q word, for us today. And I think that's because everyone has heeded the warnings for the most part, and all unnecessary travel has been kept to a minimum. We're in the people business, so the fewer people we have out and about, the better. The snow had let up a few minutes ago, but it's actually increasing again now. And so I have an idea this event's going to be long-term for us, but we're fully staffed, and our crews are poised and ready to go to answer whatever calls that may come in. Fortunately, all vehicle accidents, and there have been several this morning, have been pretty much low-speed slide-offs and things like that. So fortunately, no injuries in Brentwood today.
Excellent. That's good to know. And, Amy was just talking to us about safety kind of inside your home and, making sure that we're doing things responsibly as we try to stay warm on this cold day. And thankfully, fortunately, we're in an area where, lots of people have, heated homes and things like that. But if people start to think about using portable heaters and things like that, what's your advice to make sure that fires don't start?
Yeah, the main issues we see with portable heaters are really twofold. First of all is overloading a circuit. Never plug a portable heater into an extension cord. Always directly into an outlet. And the other thing is they tend to place them too close to the sofa or the chair, wherever they're sitting. Be sure to keep 36 inches around that heating device open and clear of any combustibles. Of course, any kerosene or gasoline powered heating devices should be in well ventilated areas. Those should not be used inside the home without observing all the precautions on the device itself.
Good. Great advice, Chief Goss. Is there anything else that you want to make sure that people know today in terms of the weather and just how to help, even how to help crews out there like police and fire to make sure that that the public's giving you guys the space to do your jobs?
Yeah, if you can park in your driveways instead of on the street, obviously that's a tremendous help to us. Be sure that your house numbers are cleared off. When you go out to get your mail today, if your house numbers are on your mailbox, just brush them off. If the numbers are on your house and they're snow covered, brush them off. It really helps us to get to you more quickly if we can actually find you and find your address. So that becomes an issue. Some neighborhoods have address markings on the curbs, and obviously that's not helpful today. So visible house numbers at a time like this is tremendously important. Don't let your guard down when the snow stops tonight, because as others have said, it's going to get extremely cold out there, and driving could be more treacherous in the morning even than it is now. So that would be my two pieces of advice, in addition to what the others have said.
Yeah, that's great advice, Chief. That's something that, we just don't think about, in a storm like this where we're sitting here and we're watching everything coming down pretty from outside. These are great pieces of information to share. So we appreciate it. Thank you for your time here today. We really appreciate it. If you'll hang around for just a few more minutes, we may come back to you. So thanks, Chief. So Hannah, right now, we were going to go back to Sheriff Dusty Rhodes to kind of get kind of the whole Williamson County picture. If you can hear us, Sheriff, you can fill us in on what's going on.
Yeah, can you hear me? Everything like I said, mentioned a few minutes ago, we're still working out there. We still got a bunch of crashes out there. It seems like 840, as usual, seems to have several more crashes than anything else. But like I said, everybody just needs to have patience. And if you don't, I just can't reiterate enough. If you hadn't got to get out, stay at home.
Yeah,
Yes.
and what we're looking at right now, Sheriff, is exactly what you're talking about. This is a live traffic camera in Brentwood on I-65 North at Concord Road. And unfortunately for this person, they had a bad start to their day. Right now, we were going to go back.
Yeah, and plus too, people got to realize too, the record company is going to be out, and they're going to, be backed up just like everybody else. So right now it's time that, I hate to say this, but take a chill pill and just be patient with everybody.
Great points. And Sheriff, I know earlier on in the live stream, we kind of talked about if you have to get out, right? We do have some individuals in our community that do. We're thinking of individuals like nurses, first responders, right? Our public works crews. There's a plethora of people that may need to be on the roadways today due to their job titles, right? And some things that we really push for those individuals to think about, even though they are first responders, making sure that they're also prepared for the roadway, making sure if you have to get on the roadway for whatever reason today, you have a flashlight, a blanket in your car, extra power sources in your car, ways to get, attention on the roadway if you need it. So what are some other things that people should consider? Maybe a few that you mentioned earlier this morning, things that people should consider if they have to get on the roadway. What are some tips that you have?
Well, first and foremost, like I said, is take your time. Don't get in a hurry. And one thing you mentioned too, I don't know anybody nowadays that does not have a cell phone. But make sure that you've got it charged up. And if you get off, if your car runs off the road and everything, if you keep it running, be cautious on that, because your tailpipe could be caught up in the slush and the mud and stuff, and you could asphyxiate from carbon monoxide fumes. But also, if you're off the side road, call us. We'll get to you as quick as we can. We'll have somebody get to you. But two, you don't know how long you're going to be out there. So I know everybody likes to get on Facebook and text and everything on their phones. Save that battery as much as possible on that phone, because that will be your lifeline.
Yes, and you make a great point. Also, just to kind of communicate on behalf of some of our dispatchers, our 911 friends, make sure you know where you are. If you've had to pull off on the side of the road, have a general awareness of what mile marker you're on. If you're at a certain exit, what city you're in, just have some general awareness of what roadways you're using so that you can communicate to dispatch, hey, I am stuck on X road, or this is my location. Just having some type of general awareness of where you're at all times if you're going to travel, so that if you need to give dispatch your location, you can. Now, they are able to ping your phone in some circumstances, which is great, but of course, first responders really need that those mile markers, points of direction, something so that they can get to you quickly.
Yeah, too. Like I said, if you need your location, you really can't find it. And if you've got cell service, you're going to be able to get a map up and get that, and then you can give it to dispatch at that point.
Great point. Great point.
Thank you, Sheriff. We know you have a busy day ahead of you, so if you need to hop off, we appreciate your time and being here with us today. We still have about 120 some people watching live on Facebook and all of the channels that we are kind of broadcasting here from this morning. So if you have any questions, just type those right into the chat over to the side of the screen. We were going to head back out to Chief Johnson here in Franklin, and to kind of give us a report on what is happening in the roads in that area. And we are looking now live, Chief Johnson, at Interstate I-65 near the Moores Lane area. And you can see that there's a car that is spun out over on the side of the road. I mean, that seems to be the situation most everywhere this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Fortunately, a lot of it's just a sliding off the roads. As the sheriff said, just take it slow and be prepared, anticipate stops and whatnot. But the most important thing is, if you don't have to be out, please don't be out. Our city team, the streets department, began at 10 o'clock yesterday morning, putting down brine and prepping our roadways for this event. The first crew reported this morning at 3 o'clock to begin preparation for what we're dealing with now. We'll be monitoring road conditions with our fire, police, and other city team members today. And if we see any areas that that need attention, we'll be contacting our streets department or our TDOT partners to help address those areas.
Awesome. Thank you, Chief Johnson. And it looks like we've got someone from Spring Hill on here from Public Works. If you wouldn't mind, Tyler, just kind of talking about what it looks like in Spring Hill right now.
Yeah, so right now, it looks like the snow has stopped. We're currently seeing sleet, which is making things white again. Everybody, the few cars that has passed by, it seems like they're driving just fine. Snowplow trucks, as I said, they're still passing and trying to treat roads as we go. We're just hoping eventually that this stops shortly.
Right. And that's kind of unpredictable right now. Of course, everyone needs to stay tuned into the National Weather Service. If you're trying to determine, how much snow you're going to get, they're going to be able to report that. And again, they're all estimates. So just try to stay off the roadways if you can. If you're on this live stream, you're going to hear that over and over and over again today from our public works crews to our public safety partners. So, Tyler, do you have any tips for people in terms of if they have to get on the roadways, just from the considerations that you have being in public works and looking at the roadways? If people have to get on the roads, what would help you the most?
Basically, is people taking their time. Don't rush anything. Take your time. Don't be trying to pass people or get in aggravated assault trucks. Give us time. Be patient with us. And just go the lowest speed that you can go at this point. One of the biggest things at nighttime, sometimes in neighborhoods, kids like to get out on the roads and the streets, play in the snow. Nighttime is these snowplow trucks come through, we're limited on what we can see.
Yep.
Please, if anybody can help us on that part, keep your kids in the yards, not in the streets.
Great points, Tyler. I so appreciate you being on. It looks like we also have Dinah Wade from the Williamson County Rescue Squad. Thanks for joining us, Dinah. And thank you, Tyler. We're going to move over to Dinah right now. quick fact about the Williamson County Rescue Squad, they are an all-volunteer agency. So everybody responding today to anything from the Rescue Squad in their jurisdiction are volunteers. So kudos to you all for being active out there today, making sure that the community is safe and you're ready to respond. Dinah, what are you all seeing? And do you have any tips for people in terms of how they are navigating this wintry weather, whether it's inside their home or outside when they're playing? One second, Dinah. Sorry, you are muted. 1 second. Let's see if we can get you on. There we go.
Oh, wait, you got me? Can you hear me? Any sound yet?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, you're right. We are an all-volunteer department. In fact, yesterday when you sent out the invite to this meeting, my response was, if school is closed, I'll be on, because my other job is I'm a school librarian in Franklin. But so, of course, first and foremost, I want to make sure all the kids are safe out there. Please make sure that if you're sledding, we've got, well, they stopped now, but we got some kids sledding at the park here in Thompson Station. Just be aware of your surroundings. I'd like to mirror what Chief Goss and Chief Johnson said earlier to make sure, be aware of ponds. We don't want to get near any ponds or rivers. Be careful for slips and falls as well on your driveway. We're carrying extra salt. So that will help us on scene, because especially if we have a fire, if we're working a wreck, it's slippery conditions for your first responders as well. So we just want to make sure that we're safe. Please stay off the roads today. Coming in, I posted a video earlier that showed already, the snow just kicked up, that just started at 8:50 this morning. There was already, the roads were covered on Columbia Pike, and even our main roadways are treacherous. So please stay home. Please be careful with your heaters. We're here if you need us, but let's be safe. And, you know, if you've got a question, call. Like I said, patience is very important today. Staying off the roads, because for us, we were just discussing here at our station that when we're responding, it's much slower than usual. Normally we say pull to the right. Well, that's going to be a little more difficult because you can't see where the right is in the snow. So just stay home.
Thank you so much, Dinah. And if you guys were watching, it looks like we had some breaking news from the Williamson County school system. It looks like the schools are closed on Friday. So for tomorrow, there's no school. Along that closure topic, I want to make sure everybody on this live stream knows, all Williamson County government offices are closed today. That does include the health department. So if you had a vaccination scheduled or you were needing to get tested for COVID-19, all those services are canceled today due to the weather. So just remember that, again, all the county offices are closed. You can find updates on what other facilities might close on our website at williamsonready.org. We have that all updated.
All right. Thank you, Hannah. Great point. Right now, we are going to go live in Fairview. We haven't heard from Fairview this morning. We have Richard Ross over. Tell us where you're at in Fairview and what conditions are like there. Good morning.
Good morning. We're currently at the Public Works office right now, and all our guys are out and about right now trying to make everything safe for everyone. But right now we are having several vehicles out and about. Unfortunately, people are out just driving around, just seeing what the road conditions are like, and we are urging people to stay home if possible. On Highway 100 near Whippoorwill Hill, we're having issues with people sliding off the hill. And luckily, we've only received, I believe it's 2 reports of accidents this morning. So we're very lucky for that. As of right now, the roads are doing okay, but underneath this snow, we're seeing a little bit of ice underneath it.
Yeah, and you're right, Richard. I mean, tomorrow morning is going to be a very difficult situation, which is why Williamson County Schools has already made the call this morning. Carol called, and we just found out from her that school will be closed tomorrow, Friday, January 7th. So I think I heard all of the kids in Williamson County collectively scream at once. So, but that's really a great decision. I think we'll start to see lots of other, school districts follow their lead and close school today or tomorrow, as we know that this is only going to get worse as the temperatures dip overnight and all of the snow will remain as ice.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being with us this morning, Richard. We appreciate it. If you want to turn your camera around and show us what's happening there in Fairview, we'd love to see kind of what's going on there around you.
Oh,
I'm having issues with my camera this morning.
No problem.
So
We'll
sorry,
let you figure it out. We'll come back to you. All right, and let's see if we can jump back over to Brentwood one more time. We are looking live here at Franklin Road and Concord Road, and we have Public Works Director Todd Hoppenstead with us from Brentwood. And Todd, I know you can speak on behalf of Brentwood, but also it's the same situation with TDOT and all of those people out there for the county, for Franklin Streets Department. I mean, there was just a lot of snow that came down all at once, making y'all's jobs difficult, right?
Yes, ma'am. As somebody who, used to live in the Chicago area, and I know a lot of people in Middle Tennessee are like me and have come from other places where they're used to this. We're showing video of some of our primary roads, and you can see traffic camera videos throughout the county and along the interstate. Please keep in mind, those are, our main roads, and we're trying to keep those open for emergency vehicles in case there's a medical call or a police fire need. Don't let those videos fool you as to the overall conditions throughout the county. The streets in Brentwood specifically, side streets, neighborhood streets, hills, curves, haven't hardly even been touched. Parking lots of where you think you're going haven't been touched. Those employees aren't likely at the gas station or the grocery store. So, please, just everybody heed the warning and don't be fooled by the technology that we have in place to show you, that the roads do look passable there on Franklin Road at Concord, but truly over the ridge, it's not.
Yeah, indeed. I know I've spoken with several people, and the hills are really the troublesome area at this point in the game, where it's just coming down so quickly that all of the snow just really is accumulating there, and it's those hills. And especially, here in the South, we're just not really equipped to drive in this. So again, the message from police and all of, the Williamson County Sheriff, we've heard from Dusty Rhodes this morning. If you don't have to get out, please stay home. Brentwood City offices, City Hall is open, but only on a limited capacity. We do have a lot of resources that you can find online. So please, if you don't have to travel today, that is the message. Thank you, Todd. We appreciate you and all your crews out there today. We know you're going to have a busy day, so we appreciate you being with us.
Thank you all. Be safe.
And Deanna, there's a quick update from the sheriff's office. Rocky Springs is closed. South Hall is blocked by a semi right now. So one note they made is most all roads are being cleared, but they're getting covered with snow really quickly. So just keep that in mind. Rock Springs is closed for right now due to a semi.
Okay, and that's Rock Springs in the county. Okay, all right,
Yes.
good to know. Okay, well, we have been at this for about 45 minutes. We are getting a lot of kudos. There's Kathy Montgomery from the Williamson County Health Department there thanking Hannah. And so we are getting some questions. Well, there's Jeffy from the county talking about that Rocky Springs is closed in South Hall. So we appreciate. Yeah. So
you normally would put a closure list up. That's something that we normally do during flooding seasons when roads are treacherous and there's bodies of water closing roads down. But at this point, there's so many that are closed. We would have to list every road in the county if we were going to really talk about really what a closed road looks like. It's kind of hard to close the amount of roads that are probably impacted at this point. So really our message to everyone is just stay off the roads. You've been hearing that from us all morning. No current list of roads unless, again, the sheriff's office actually closed it down with a barricade.
Yes, definitely. All right. And Lieutenant Foster has been helpful this morning. He's been standing outside. I'm glad to see that you got back in your car, Lieutenant Foster. How are you?
I'm doing well. It was really windy up there on the hill, so I had to step inside the car for a little bit.
Good. Are there a lot of kids out there on the hill this morning?
Yeah, there's a group of about 10 to 15 kids out there enjoying the winter weather and sledding. And it's a really great place to sled. It's really wide open. It's not close to a road, so it's very safe if you're going to sled to go to the Springer Battlefield. It's going to be a popular spot today.
And that's an important part that you mentioned right there, sledding safety. While a lot of kids are getting ready to venture out and have fun, there's an element of safety here that needs to be mentioned.
Right. A lot of times we see a lot of risky behavior, such as sledding behind a car. They'll tie a rope and get up to fast speeds, kind of like, going out on the water type of thing. And it's really unsafe, and it can really lead to an injury. So we recommend not doing anything close to a road. Like I said, the Spring Hill Battlefield is great. It's high. You can get going really, really fast. Just don't pile too many people on one sled, but it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we appreciate you being here with us this morning, Lieutenant. We hope that you and all of your staff are safe out there today and tomorrow morning as well.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, Hannah, Jeffy is telling us that all of the Williamson County Library system is closed, all branches. I know that includes the John P. Holt Brentwood Library in Brentwood, and even all of the parks in the city of Brentwood have decided to close today because really you just need to be home today, right?
Yep. Stay home if you can. Stay home if you can. And if you have to travel, just use those tips that were mentioned earlier in the live stream, right? If you have to travel, know your surroundings, understand where you're at. So if you need help, you can call for it. And you know where you are so that first responders can get to you if you must leave your home. Another thing we just want people to consider, just again, make sure everything's charged up. We talked to Amy from the Middle Tennessee Electric Service earlier. Make sure that your phones are charged up. All of your devices are charged, whether they're a medical device or it's your phone. And just consider having your non-perishable foods ready to go if you need to. So if there were to be an outage, you have the food that you need. You have the clothing that you need already out. If you are having to leave, make sure to put all those items in your car just in case. Just stay prepared if you do choose to leave your home. And if you're inside your home, just take precautionary measures. Again, make sure that you have batteries, extra power sources, just in case you have a power outage. There are crews working 24/7 to make sure power stays up, but just in case you need resources and you need to take care of yourself, make sure you can. And you have all those things that you need right there in your house.
Indeed. Well, Hannah, thanks for being here this morning. I think that we've provided a lot of great information. There's still several people who are watching live at home. The questions are kind of calming down a little bit. So I think that we are probably safe to go ahead and wrap it up here. But please share this on Facebook with your friends so that they can also get the information today. And again, tomorrow will be an icy morning. So make sure that today and tomorrow you just plan to hunker down.
Thank you all.
All right. Thanks, Hannah. Bye-bye.